What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to GNR Frank. My name is Francisco, and today we're going to be reviewing the Steelseries Arctis 1 wireless gaming headset, Cyberpunk 2077 edition. Let's go. So before we get into the build quality and all of the shenanigans about the headset, let's go ahead and take a look at what's in the box. For starters, you got the headset itself right here, and this is the Netrunner edition of the Arctis 1 wireless headset, okay? Along with that, in the box, you're also going to get the detachable microphone, USB-C transmitter right here, see, super small, the USB-C to USB-A converter, the cable to charge it, micro USB of course, and what may possibly be the world's weakest, crappiest looking 3.5 millimeter cable. This piece of chicken wire right here, this is pathetic. It does have an aluminum reinforced headband, cloth cushions on the ear cups. They don't feel super padded at all. Like when I'm doing this right here, they don't feel like super padded at all. It actually feels like you could use a little more as far as what you're feeling here. But once you put it on, it's actually a very comfortable headset as far as the ear cups are concerned. So the padding actually isn't too much of an issue. It's almost perfect, to be frank with you, no pun intended. The cushioning underneath the headband is quite minimal, okay? But once again, after using this for extensive amounts of hours, no problem there. It actually sits nice and comfortably on the top of my dome, and it doesn't even cause any discomfort at all. And then as far as flexibility goes, that is about where I start meeting some resistance right here. The headband itself on the inside is metal. It does have a bit of a plastic strip here in the center, if you can see that right there. And then other than that, from a build perspective, from a build quality perspective, the worst thing about this headset so far is the amount of tension that is in this headset. So once again, as I try to stretch it out, I start meeting resistance pretty early on here, and that translates into the clamping force of the headset, which is actually pretty gnarly. It's a lot tighter than I'm used to, and the tightest headset I've actually ever put on was the HyperX Cloud Alphas. Now, thankfully, it's not that tight. And over some use and over a period of time, it seems like the headset and the tension has conformed to the shape of my head. So thankfully, it sits a little easier on my head now as opposed to how it did when I first started using it. But other than that, you can see here, there's no cables, no cords or anything like that at all. And all the controls are right here on the left ear cup. You've got a volume wheel, mic mute and mic unmute switch, the 3.5 millimeter jack right here, the micro USB connector for charging, and of course the port for your microphone right here, the connection for your microphone. One thing I want to get into briefly before we get into sound is this little guy right here. So this is a USB-C transmitter. This is what's going to get the sound from your device over to your headset. Now, you might be asking yourself, what could I possibly use this on? So right out of the bat, just the device on its own, you can actually plug this into anything with a USB-C port. So for instance, Android devices, you're good to go. My PC, the motherboard, has a USB-C port on the back. I could plug it in right there and I'm good to go. Apple devices, unfortunately, is a bit of a different story, and you might need some sort of converter to get it to work. Other than that, unfortunately, it will not work. If you want to use this on a console like the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, or potentially even the upcoming Series X, Series S, and PS5, you'll have to use a provided USB-C to USB-A converter, okay? And this thing, simply, you just plug it in right here, and you plug this into your device, and you're good to go. Done. One thing I also want to settle right here and right now, this is not a Bluetooth headset. You cannot use this headset wirelessly without using this piece. This piece gets you your sound. Without this piece, you've got nothing. Your only other alternative at that point is going to be a wired connection. But now, let's get into sound. So I've had a couple of weeks now with the headset, and I got to tell you a couple of things. Number one, it sounds really good. Go figure, okay? It sounds really good. As a matter of fact, it sounds way better than I expected it to, because in my previous experience with wireless headsets, the sound can be a little and more so in terms of like latency, right? But this thing is it's spot on. I experienced little to no latency in regards to sound. I'm playing games like PUBG, you know, at a competitive level, a competitive game, right, where you're trying to beat and win and be number one, literally. I didn't experience any issues. I was able to hear directional cues like gunshots and where they're coming from, explosions, vehicles, footsteps above, below, to the sides. Everything came in nice and clear. The only thing is, I'm a little concerned about the soundstage with the headset. I felt like I would hear footsteps at just in time, but in some cases almost a little too late. Whereas in other headsets like the Razer Black Shark V2, I can hear the footsteps coming a mile away, and it gives me the time to prepare for whatever's coming my way. Okay, but other than that, games like PUBG, games like Valorant, played on my PS4. Hooked up via the USB wireless transmitter. I played games like Ghost of Tsushima, Pro Evolution Soccer 2020. Everything I played with this headset sounded really good. You know, the crowds chanting in Pro Evolution Soccer, the ambient noise in Ghost of Tsushima, my lord, that game sounds and looks beautiful, right? And then once again, just the chaos and the commotion of a game like PUBG sounded great with the headset. And the battery life for this thing, pretty damn good. I've only charged it once in the 2 weeks that I've had it. Now, the only thing that we really want to talk about last is going to be the microphone. So I'm going to get everything set up and we're going to go ahead and check out the mics. All right, ladies and gents, so I went ahead and attached the microphone to the actual headset itself, and it's a pretty easy process, of course. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that actually removing the microphone, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. I don't like it one bit, and I thought I was going to break my headset earlier when I first tried this out. So this is the microphone, wirelessly hooked up to my computer. I'm using Audacity to record the audio, and I've done a couple of tests already, and I kind of played it back, and I got to tell you, I'm not really impressed. Like, it doesn't sound that great. There are other headsets that I've used that are wired that sound way better and way clearer than this, and they're also cheaper. Let's see how true this noise cancellation really is, because we're about to put that to the test. I actually had some of you request that I start doing this now, and we're just going to go ahead and type away. Don't ask me what kind of keys these are. I don't remember, but I'll put it in the video in some sort of text or something or other. But I don't know. You tell me. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Is it noise canceling? Is it doing what it says that it's going to do? Because other than that, if it is doing that, that's cool. I'm not overly impressed with the sound whatsoever of the microphone. It doesn't sound horrible, but I'm not impressed, especially coming in at $100. So, however, there might be a different solution in mind now. Steelseries does have some software that it offers for its users, the Steelseries Engine 3. We're going to go ahead and open that up and see if that's going to do anything to change the quality of the microphone. We'll be right back. Okay, so we went ahead and opened up the Steelseries Engine 3 software. You're able to select whatever hardware you have right now with them. And you can see here I've got the Cyberpunk 2077 edition of the Arctis 1. You're going to have a couple of options. You can equalize your headset manually, or you can go through some preset customs. They got flat, performance, immersion, entertainment, music, and voice. So that's going to affect your range, like what your sound is like. And you can even change up the dynamic range compression of your sound. And I played around with this, listening to some music. It made a big difference, but I found that as I went higher and higher, the music sounded worse. So I actually kept it off. The cool thing too is that a lot of you do tend to ask me if certain headsets have side tone included. Through the software, you're able to actually turn side tone on and off, and also dictate how loud it comes in. And the crazy thing is that in the software, this microphone sounds freaking incredible, but I don't understand why it doesn't sound this great using Audacity. Maybe it's something wrong with the software. I don't know. The other really cool thing that the software offers is the ability to go ahead and determine how long your headset needs to be inactive before it's powered off. You can also do things like kind of determine what the presses are for your power button on your right ear cup. At the bottom right here, you can see it kind of right there. A single press will answer or end a phone call. A single press can play and pause music. Double pressing it is the next track, and triple pressing it is the previous track right there. So we got a little bit more to do, so let's keep going. Okay, y'all, just for craps and giggles, I went ahead and hooked up the Razer Black Shark V2 headset roughly around the same price as the Steelseries Arctis 1, just so you can kind of get a comparison of the microphone, and also just to make sure I'm not going crazy. Because, once again, when I used the Arctis 1 through the Steelseries Engine 3 software and I played the microphone back as a live preview, it sounded incredible. But when I use it here in Audacity, it sounds like absolute crap. And so this is the Black Shark V2 microphone plugged in to the back of my motherboard because it is a wired headset, and this is what it sounds like. And I think if anything, ladies and gentlemen, this showcases how much better fidelity you get when you use a wired version of a headset, or a wired headset and wired connections as opposed to wireless. There are lots of benefits to wireless, and there's a lot of benefits to wired too. You kind of have to weigh one against the other and see what really suits your needs and what's going to be best for you. Okay, but yeah, let's go ahead and switch it back over because this isn't a Razer review, so yeah. Coming in at $109.99, the SteelSeries Arctis 1 Cyberpunk 2077 edition, that's a mouthful, is actually a pretty solid buy. Okay, it's got a great build quality to it. It can be a little bit tight on your dome, but after a while it does actually conform to you. Surprisingly comfortable for 40mm drivers, and the sound is pretty spot on. No major complaints in those two aspects. The most disappointing aspect of the headset, and typically in most gaming headsets that I've reviewed, is the microphone. The microphone, although it's advertised as clearcast and noise canceling, I think it falls short, and it doesn't necessarily deliver on its promise there. However, I've used worse headsets with worse microphones, even at this price point, and to say that this is that bad would be a lie. It's passable. You'll be able to communicate with your friends, you'll be able to talk to online lobbies and do what you got to do and just get your voice out there just fine. You're not going to sound great and you're not going to sound horrible, but if that's something you're willing to live with, then I don't see any reason why somebody would not purchase this headset. Hope y'all found the review helpful. Thank y'all so much for checking it out. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Y'all have been absolutely freaking amazing. We're very, 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 very close to 3,000 subs. So I just want to take a quick moment and thank y'all. If you're interested in keeping up with me and the rest of my content and everything that I do, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. The little thing will be here somewhere. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Y'all know the drill. You can follow me on Instagram at gnr_Francisco. You can follow me on Twitter at gnr_Frank. And everything else that I do, you can find on either one of those platforms. Until next time. Now I gotta find another headset to review. Until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to one another. Peace out.